Our final learning target, number 7, is looking at the least common type of plate boundary, and that is transform. Transform boundary is different from divergent, where the plates are moving apart, where convergent moves together. What we're looking at for transform is this side-by-side horizontal movement of plates. So we don't have any plates overriding or subducting underneath the other. They're simply sliding past each other in a horizontal way. They really are happening on any kind of crust combination, and they really kind of fill in the blanks between big divergent and big convergent boundaries. So in this diagram, we can see them here as red. Oftentimes, we see these transform boundaries right along a mid-ocean ridge or a divergent boundary. So this is a great graphic. We can see here the mid-ocean ridge separating over time, causing this piece of crust to move this direction. And here's another segment of the mid-ocean ridge causing this piece of crust to move in that direction. So looking carefully at these two motions, that little section of crust is moving in this transform direction, which is, of course, side by side. So that's a common place that we see these transform sections. We notice at this type of boundary, there's no magma involved. We don't see any volcanoes erupting. We don't see any mid-ocean ridges releasing magma. It's just a simple slide-by-side motion. And our most common feature at this boundary is earthquakes, because as always, the earth is moving. So we can see in this graphic here, again, side-by-side horizontal motion. On your diagram, you can label the earthquake something like this: on the boundary and shallow. That's what we see at transform. There's no subduction creating those deep quakes, just moving horizontally over time. Here's another great visual. You should have 3 things labeled on your diagram. Again, side-by-side motion. So think about how the plates in the picture are moving. Earthquake shallow on the boundary line where the crack is happening. And that crack that's being created is known as a fault. A crack made by tectonic motions. That's all we have for Learning Target 7, just the labels, no description needed.